Okay, welcome back to the South Melbourne Commons website tutorial guide. In this lesson we're going to learn how to put a new image on the Commons website or onto a web page on the website. So this is an image that you might have in a camera, or it might be another image you found on the internet that you've got stored on your computer. So the first step is basically to prepare the image for uploading to the website, and then to do the actual upload itself. Of course, the preparation work is where most of the work is. You want to make sure that the image is a decent quality for most cases, unless you're just going to have it like a very small icon like this tick or a cross, or what's another example? Maybe the pantry has one. Small images are fine to show. Like these aren't too big, these images, but yeah, if you're going to do any nice big images that take up half the page, then you're going to want to make sure that they're high quality. And the easiest way to do that is to simply have a good look at the image if you're not too familiar with it, and simply just double click, open it up, and see how clear the image is when it's displayed at the size you think it's going to be on the website. So if it's going to be a small image, or is it going to be a really big image? If it's going to be really big, then maybe you need a high quality image. So you might need to go back out and find one, or you might just choose that your image needs to be sized smaller so that it looks clearer on the website. Anyway, the most likely circumstances are you're going to have a photograph that you've taken with a digital camera, and you want to get that up onto the website. The problem is with digital cameras, they take really high quality images. So we're looking at one here that was taken for earth bag building. There's some information displayed down here on Windows that gives you a bit of a guide to how big the image is, or you might have a different view that tells you this image is 2.64 megabytes in size. That's its file size. In most cases you can also right click and select properties, and it will tell you the same information. The other information it'll tell you, if you click on the right tabs, is the dimensions of the image. So this is how many pixels it is wide and high. The problem we have with this image is it's way too big. So 2.64 meg would take probably 30 seconds to download on the web page. So for starters, it takes you so long. And if you actually double click the image, you can see that it's such high quality that this could be the image and it would still be good enough quality for the website, just this section of it. So there's far too much information here. Do you want to change? No, don't, just go away. Far too much information. So what we need to do is use an image editing tool, and some of those are suggested in the guide. You may already have one. Today we're just going to use one called GIMP. So we're going to take the photo and edit with GIMP. You can use any editor you want, but basically what we're going to do is shrink this image down. We also have the ability to change the color and brightness and crop the image as well, because often that will give you a much better result. For example, if we crop the image to remove all this here, it's not very interesting, all this over here, so we could probably afford to crop that image out. And same for the top, maybe we just crop it off at that level. So with the image being smaller size, a physical size, it's obviously going to change the file size as well, which is good. So a small file size is a good thing. Okay, so the GIMP's nearly loaded. When the GIMP comes up, it's going to be showing the image, and we're then going to resize the image. Coming. To do that, simply click on the image menu, and the first thing you might want to do is click image properties to get an idea of the image. Again, you can see the pixels here, and you can also see the file size there. So we just click close, click image, click rescale image. You can do it by the number of pixels, or you can do it by the percentage. So if you do it percentage wise, You might want to just make it 15%. Just change one of the figures and it will, because these are locked, the aspect ratio, it will change the other one, and just click scale. So it looks tiny there, but if we actually zoom in on the image, you'll see that it's still a decent size. The other thing we might want to do is to crop the image, again to remove some of that excess space. Nice. So that was just using the crop tool here, and then to make it come into effect, just double click in that area. So that's done. Then we'll just save it, file, save as, so let's call it FBAG1 in the pictures folder. Keep it a JPEG image so it's all nice and compressed. Avoid bitmap images if you can, BMP images. Does it ask you if I want to compress the image? Say yes. Often it just comes back to around 80% or so. It just means it's going to squash it down a bit more so the file size is even less. I can now then go to image and look at the image properties, and what was a 2000 kilobyte image or 2 megabytes is now only 50 kilobytes. You want to aim for your image to be between, roughly 20 to 100 kilobytes. It can be larger if it needs to be, but generally, 50 is pretty good, 80 is pretty good, 50 is pretty good. And you can still see here that that image is a decent quality, and on the website it may need to be displayed at that size, which is still more than adequate to get the information across. Alright, so we've saved our image, we're all done there, so we'll close that down. Next thing we do is go to the administration panel for the Commons website. We're going to assume you've already logged in. The easiest thing to do is go to the Media Manager, click on the Articles menu, select Media Manager. We're then going to navigate down through the folders on the left hand side to expand stories, and then click on the folder that best relates to the image that you want to upload. In my case it would be garden. You can actually create a new folder over here if you feel you need to, that's not a problem. I could create an earthbag folder with inside the garden folder if I wanted, but for our case I'm happy to put it in here. I'm just going to browse for the image, and here's my earthbag image. Just click open and just click start upload. It's a 50k image, so it won't take very long. Once it's uploaded, it'll display here. There it is. Beautiful. That's all done. So now the image is available to use. So the next thing I need to do is go and edit an article. Let's find our yoga page again. Click on the yoga page. And just as you would before, decide where you want the image. Scroll down, click image. Select the garden folder when it comes up. Find the image you inserted, give it some text, earthbag building, just for easy, just keep those two the same, click insert, and you're done. You can then move it around, resize it, align it left or right, give it a border, all those different things. So quite simply, just as you would editing, simply save or apply, and you're on your way. Simple as that. Go back to the yoga page. Always check the image displays okay and is where you want it to be, and you're done. So that's the end of that lesson.